Ever since the members of BTS began their mandatory military service, armies around the world have been endlessly looking forward to the day when the 7 members can finally get back together on stage. Those hopes were further inflamed after Jimin and Jungkook issued a horrendous statement. BTS will be making a full comeback with a full lineup. This news immediately shook the virtual world, making the army around the world cheer happily and ha in recent years. There has been a lot of speculation about the future of BTS, after all the members have completed their mandatory military service. Although they have assured since the beginning that BTS will not be disbanding, their absence in the music industry still leaves a deep void for fans. However, Jimin and Jungkook recently delivered something that made ARMY's hearts again full of hope. While doing a live broadcast on the Weverse platform, Jimin and Jungkook chatted with fans in a relaxed atmosphere. At first, they just talked about their day-to-day and how they missed the fans. However, all of a sudden, Jimin looked at the camera seriously and said, "We know that many of you are worried and wondering about the future of BTS. But trust me, we'll be back. We'll be back in 7. Jungkook, who was sitting beside him, smiled and nodded. "That's our promise," he added in a voice of confidence. That simple statement immediately made the army excited. For the army, the promises made by Jimin and Jungkook were not mere words. It was clear evidence that BTS remained solid, even though they had to part ways temporarily due to state obligations. Many fans immediately shared video footage from the broadcast, writing their expressions of emotion and happiness. One comment that received thousands of likes read, "We've been waiting a long time," and hearing them themselves say this makes all the waiting feel so worth it. Not a few also expressed their pride for BTS, who remain committed to the group, even though each member has progressed with their solo projects. One person wrote, "They could have chosen each other's paths, but BTS always chose to get back together. That's what makes them special." Since announcing a temporary hiatus to focus on their respective conscripts and solo projects, each BTS member has shown their various creative sides. Jungkook released his solo album Golden, which was a huge success in the global market, featuring songs such as 7 and Standing Next to You, which topped the charts in various countries. Jimin also scored a remarkable feat with his album Face, which featured the hit song Like Crazy. Meanwhile, RM, Suga, J-Hope, V, and Jeon are also busy with their own projects, both in the music world and other fields. However, despite their success as solo artists, BTS has always made it clear that they will return as a group. In various interviews, each member never forgot to mention how much they miss being together as 7 people on stage. Jimin and Jungkook's statement in this live broadcast seems to reaffirm what fans have long held. BTS is not just an ordinary music group, they are a family that will always come back together. Although Jimin and Jungkook's promise was enough to make ARMY cheer happily, the big question remains in everyone's mind: when exactly will BTS make a comeback in full formation? According to calculations, the last members to complete military service will be Taehyung and Jungkook, who are likely to complete their duties by mid-2025. If nothing changes, BTS could be active again as a group as early as late 2025 or early 2026. Although the exact date is still a mystery, this announcement from Jimin and Jungkook is enough to convince fans that the day they've been waiting for will actually come. BTS is known as a group that always presents something spectacular. Every comeback, they always bring surprises, whether it's from the concept of the album, the quality of the music, to the stunning stage performance. If BTS were to make a 7th comeback after completing their military service, it would be one of the biggest moments in K-pop history. Concert tickets will be sold out in seconds, album sales records will again be broken, and the world will again be shaken by the BTS phenomenon. Many fans are beginning to speculate about the concept of their comeback later. There are those who hope BTS will return with a more mature and meaningful style, describing their journey so far. There are also those who imagine them returning with a song full of energy, celebrating their freedom after passing the military service. However, for sure, no matter what the concept will look like, one thing is clear: the world will be ready to welcome BTS's return in full formation, and the army will be at the forefront of supporting them. This announcement from Jimin and Jungkook not only strengthened expectations, but also triggered a wave of euphoria that was felt around the world. A number of international media outlets began reporting on the statement, highlighting its enormous impact on the global music industry. BTS is not just a K-pop group. They are a cultural phenomenon that has carved history in various parts of the world. The reaction from the fans continues to flow. On various social media platforms, ARMY shared stories of how BTS has become an important part of their lives. Many admitted that the journey with BTS has been full of emotional moments, from the joy when they won big awards, to the sadness when one by one the members began serving in the army. However, the promise to return as Seven has removed all worries ever in South Korea. The music and entertainment industries are beginning to speculate about the impact that will have when they actually return. Industry observers predict that BTS will bring a huge domino effect, both for the country's economy and the global entertainment industry. Each of their previous comebacks has always generated fantastic numbers, with album sales that set new records and concerts whose tickets sold out in seconds. It's no exaggeration to predict that BTS's return after a hiatus will be a bigger event than their previous comebacks. Meanwhile, the other BTS members have also given hints about their desire to get back together. RM, in one of his last interviews before serving in the army, confirmed that BTS is an irreplaceable part of him. He said that their solo journey is not the end of the group, but a new chapter that will strengthen BTS when they get back together. This statement is in line with what is often said by Suga, who always reminds the army that they will meet again after all obligations are resolved. On the other hand, the army community began to prepare to welcome the big day. Many fans have already started saving money to make sure they can attend BTS's first concert after the hiatus. BTS merchandise, albums and various collections are again on the main hunt, as if reminding everyone that BTS is not just a music group, but a phenomenon that touches various aspects of the lives of its fans. Although there is still time before BTS really returns with a complete lineup, the enthusiasm that is already felt at this time is proof that their presence has never faded. Not only old fans are excited, but also many new people are starting to be interested in getting to know more about BTS's incredible journey. Jimin and Jungkook's promise has rekindled the wave of love that has always been at the core of the relationship between BTS and ARMY. One thing is for sure. When that day comes, the world will witness something more than just a comeback. It will be a celebration of togetherness, a proof of a promise kept, and a moment that will be remembered throughout history. ARMY has waited, BTS has promised, and the world's big stage is ready to welcome them back in the entertainment world. Many groups go on hiatus and eventually break up. However, BTS has proven that they are different. They are not just a musical group. They are a family that has ties that are too strong to be separated. Jimin and Jungkook's promise in their live broadcast is not an empty promise. It was a form of their commitment and love for the army, which had accompanied them from the beginning. BTS has gone through various obstacles, from their struggles as a rookie group, the peak of glory as the largest group in the world, to the difficult times when they had to separate temporarily to fulfill state obligations. However, one thing never changes: their determination to stay together. Now, after this horrendous statement, the world is waiting with anticipation. BTS's comeback with a full lineup is no longer just a dream, but a reality that will soon be realized. So ARMY, are you ready to welcome the return of the 7 BTS?